All right, welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm here. My name's Jamal. I'm here with my boys, Reeves and Brian.
Oh man, it was instantly better than what I would do if I
That
did it.
was so much better.
Damn it.
Brian. And hey, Brian, I just want to pull you aside into my office real quick and let you know that we're just going to we're just trying something new with Jamal doing the intro now. And we're just going to let it see how it works out for the next, 15, 20 episodes. And, maybe if he gets injured or whatever, we can sub you back in and you can start doing it. But I think we just want to do this, this pilot thing with Jamal for the next, 50, 60 episodes where he'll do the intro.
I love the jump between 15 to 20, 50 to 60.
I don't feel good about this, but I'm gonna do what's best for the team. And then I'm gonna ask. Then I'm gonna demand a trade to what's that
Pelicans?
podcast? What's a podcast that local people would get if I made a reference to it?
Local people would get.
I don't know, but the Three Amigos are back. This is Pod Chef episode 4, season 1. Let me start off by telling you what I had for dinner last night. I had
flawless execution.
No, he's
I had,
tearing you up. He's making you look like a chump.
I've
He's made
lost
me
my
look
sense of
dumb,
breath.
but I let you start.
You kept telling me to do it.
I'm gonna
That's-
get fired.
that's on
from the
you,
front
man.
office.
hey guys, shut up.
Oh.
I opened up the grill and I seared and grilled some chicken breast, but I seasoned it, a blackened chicken breast seasoned, and then I also had sauteed sweet potato, not yams, sweet potatoes this time, and then I also sauteed some broccoli with some garlic and some onion. So that was my dinner last night.
That sounds delicious. You guys
What'd you
have
guys
a
That
have?
grill?
sounds really good.
Yeah, so me and my upstairs landlord slash neighbor slash I probably have the best relationship with a landlord that anyone in DC has. I mean, we have dinners for crying out loud. But we went shopping for a grill, and so we split it 3 ways, and so it's just out there.
Whoa.
And like anytime I'm feeling it, it's like I want to grill like a bunch of meat quick. Just fire it up.
Damn,
What if
son.
you all three want to grill at the same time?
It's
What
never
happens?
happened yet, but if it does, I just establish dominance.
You're gonna
That's
pee on
good.
it.
Yeah, I pee on the grill.
Okay.
Just because then they come out and they're like, smells like Jamal out here. I guess he's
Yeah.
grilling.
This flame smells like pee.
Yeah.
It's pee on the grill.
Not just any pee, distinctly like African American pee.
I'm gonna ask, does it smell? So it smells different?
Smells different, looks different.
Looks different.
Have you ever seen a zebra's skin? So when black people pee, there's like a zebra-like stripe that goes into the water. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't
gonna-
know that.
I'm gonna appropriate that if I can.
All right, quit stalling. Tell us what you ate.
Okay, so I had zucchini noodle bowls. So I kind of like, we have this like scraper thing where you can like push zucchinis in and it'll like spiral them into like spaghetti. So I did that with some cut up peppers and kale. And then I made my own vinaigrette to go along with it. I think there was some other stuff in there, but I don't remember. Oh, mint from our herb garden, along with a little bit of cilantro.
Okay, and that was your din.
And that was the dinner yesterday. I haven't eaten tonight. I'm so hungry. So if I just let you guys know up front, it might affect my performance. How hungry I am.
Don't worry, Brian's not leading the podcast today. I am. So Brian, what'd you have?
So I didn't prepare a DiGiorno for you.
Oh God, Brian.
But it's honestly, I feel like a child, and Jamal knows this. I've often compared myself to Jamal with like his adultness with my adultness, and we've come to the conclusion that it's not like him being more adult, it's me being more childlike.
Yes.
So what I prepared for you is sloppy joes made from Gardein fake beef crumbles and Manwich chunky sloppy joe mix and frozen corn, which I boiled.
I don't know the last time I was even in a place that served sloppy joes.
We serve them at
Yeah.
Brian's. Brian's
I love
pretty
that your
often.
restaurant is named
Pretty
that,
often.
and it's spelled with an I instead of a Y. I
Yeah, I
love it.
spell it the wrong way.
I love it. All right, so that's what we had. All right. Well, let's talk about some other food on the fly because that's season 1, episode 4 is titled "Food on the Fly." What do you guys think? What do you guys
He's even
think?
doing transitions.
Yeah, he asked me what I thought of the episode, which feels nice. I'll tell you what I thought of the episode, Jamal. It's not very good.
Hold on. I just want you to know, anyone listening to this episode, if they've listened to the previous 3, they're like, "What happened?"
It got better. It got
This
better.
is completely different.
Yeah.
What's worse is this is a bad episode, but like the Top Chef episode was a bad episode, but this will be the best episode of Pod Chef.
Yeah, the Reddit forum for this will be like you can just skip the first 3 episodes. Just go right to
Yeah.
that's when they really hit a groove on the fourth
They're
one.
like Jamal takes over in the 4th episode. It really gets some structure.
I don't know why I feel bad. I am very firm in my knowledge that I am not a host. I am co-host at best. I know that it was
All right, that's
bad.
we're just playing our roles now. Maybe I should have been stepping up. So maybe if the first 3 episodes people don't like as much, it's my fault because I wasn't stepping up as much. I was playing too far in the background when I mean, I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
I'm simply more of a I'm gonna make a penis joke every couple of minutes, get in there and get out,
That's what I love.
and over talk.
So I think what we should do in honor of our last episode where we said which players we were, we should say what positions we play on the team of
Nice.
Pod Chef.
Nice.
I think it's
I'm point
clear.
guard.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear,
I'm
right?
bringing the ball up. I'm looking to dish. I'm looking to score. Whatever the team needs, I'm facilitating.
What do I feel like I am?
I think you're power forward.
Power forward. I think I could probably be a power forward. I was gonna do something with soccer, but I don't know what I would be for soccer. Maybe a number 10, a creative midfielder. Yeah, I'll just go with power forward. I like that.
And that brings in Baby Diesel.
I'm
Big Baby Diesel.
Is that a combination of Big Baby and Shaq?
Yeah.
Just the fattest NBA player of all time. And immediately my brain went Waterboy. For again, we're gonna take you guys behind the candelabra at Reeves's wedding for the rehearsal dinner, or kind of like the welcome dinner. I wore a red polo shirt, short sleeve, tucked into khaki pants, and Jamal told me they look like an offensive lineman coach. So probably that is what I am.
Fucking cooked him.
He nailed it. I had super short hair. I had like shaved on the sides. I looked like an O-line coach, and it's true. And,
I think I went up to you and said, I think the team's looking good this year. Offensive coordinator.
and then I immediately was like, Carrie, I told you I shouldn't have worn this. She's like, fine.
Like, this is your fault.
I think I also immediately was like, Brian, I'm just joking. You look fine. I just because I know you and I know that will stick with you the whole night. So
you know that I care about how I look?
Yes. That's hey, the next day though, you broke up that sweet shirt for the wedding.
Everyone was looking
that
at
was
me
nice.
and not Reeves and
I
Ginny. They were
couldn't
looking at
even make
me.
a joke about it. I was jealous of that
It
shirt.
looked great. I did like that shirt. I think you're a center. I think that works for you.
It goes with the Dwight Howard thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause, like a center is also looking for that dick joke as well.
That's true.
So it works.
Yeah,
right.
center's
So-
also looking for that dick joke.
In this episode, the first quickfire challenge, the chefs had to create 30 minutes using $20 worth of ingredients that they got from a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
Which a lot of the chefs, if you can believe it, on Top Chef were like, gas station? How does one procure food from such a place?
Yeah, it's like they only thought that there was gas at the gas station. They were like confused by the fact that there was also a convenience store attached to the gas station with like any kind of food in it.
And some of the B-roll, I think they cut out a lot of the chefs saying, why don't they call it gas and convenience store? Why do they just call it gas station? Because there's more than just gas. There's also food. There's also convenience items. I don't understand. And they're like, we don't have time to explain that in this whole episode.
The way that it was edited leads me to believe that maybe they had something else planned for the quick fire and it fell through. and Tom or
Tom
someone
said,
was like, just go to the gas station. Just make them over there.
go to the gas station across the street from the hotel.
Yeah, it's definitely not even like
It's not even
it's
far.
just a gas station.
Literally was like, what's the closest gas station? Great, send him there.
So I think the two biggest people who had the most feelings towards the gas station were Andrea and Dave. And we have a clip that I will play of how they felt about going to the gas station for this quick fire challenge.
How you handling it, Andrea? I'm in shock. I bet you are. This isn't where I would shop normally because, you know, there's no fresh produce. I hope that I'm not serving it to people that I know or like.
I was excited about the gas station challenge because from college days and white trash, I like pudding.
So Andrea is upset because there's no fresh produce at the gas station. She hopes that none of her friends, people that she likes, is there that she's serving to, which is fair. There's no fresh produce at gas stations. There might be an egg.
Oh, wait a minute. There's grass out front.
There's grass out front.
Some grass.
There's rats around back.
Grass is a weed. That's an herb.
Yeah.
Did she say
That's
something
fresh.
about her friends dying?
I think she said that I think she said if she served this food to them, her friends and her customers would die.
Would die, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean,
that's how
that does kind of go with like what we did find out about Andrea, which is that she has like this very dark side of her that threatens people and I guess maybe murders people. So maybe this is like a subtle hint at the fact that it's like, if I don't like the ingredient, oh my goodness, the puppy's upset.
Now my dog is upset.
What did you do to upset the dog?
I don't know what's going on.
Oh no.
Do you want to take
now
that
I have
again?
to get no, I feel like I have to get a dog so that this
Yeah.
this is the rule of threes and it can happen.
Yeah, could you please?
Sure.
Or you can get a cat that can meow really loud. That'd be nice.
No, I
That'd be
want a
nice.
cat that can bark. I'll find a cat that can bark.
That'd be cool. I don't want to finish my bit.
Oh, this is staying.
I feel like I was building towards something that was going to not really be great. So we could just move on.
So I know that we have a running thing where we think Steven is just a character the writers came up with. And I mean, this episode maybe proves it even more than it did in the previous episodes. But I think now Andrea might be also a made up character because she thinks people will die if they eat anything from the gas station, which I'm pretty sure everyone in America, it's like a rite of passage in America, right? To eat something from the gas station at some point in time in your life.
I think, and this, we're going to kind of get into it later, but this whole episode is kind of revealing of like what these contestants have never experienced in their lives.
Yeah.
Which is like just regular human life they seem to have missed out on, or just like being in the cooking world has brainwashed them. So it's like now they can only remember life in the kitchen and nothing that happened outside of it.
Yeah. And to your point, Jamal, about eating from a gas station won't kill you. It won't kill you. And I am living and I can attest that it won't kill you, but it will make you very unhealthy. You eat it all the time.
Okay.
Speaking of unhealthy, doesn't Harold find something that a lot of people think is unhealthy at the gas station he is?
He does, and
This is called another transition.
Oh my goodness! This
have
is
a
like,
clip,
like a
Fucking
finely
stillness.
tuned machine, a podcasting machine.
I bought spam. I bought spam. Love spam.
So I just want to point something. I want to ask you guys something. This is very serious. Have either of you had spam before?
Yeah.
Okay, Reeves, have you?
I feel like recently I did, like it happened.
Oh wow!
But like I hadn't had it before.
Was it me?
So that's what I'm trying to think. I was like, did you? Because it
Died
feels like
towards
with some situation where you were like, try this spam. It might have been that I was just like at some kind of potluck or whatever at work, you know, back when we actually interacted with people at work.
Yeah.
And that was available, and I was like, I should try it. It's not bad. I don't mind spam.
So
Can I
go ahead.
Can I quickly share my spam? So I've had it once for sure that I know of, and it's important because it was, so my parents are divorced, and it was at my dad's house, and I was like 15, and they made like spam burgers, and I remember being like, oh, does he even know how to like what kids eat? Like I felt like I feel like calling my mom and being like, he made Spam.
Wow.
Like it felt like the most like
See-
dad thing to make us sound like, oh, here's Spam.
This is the difference between households because I grew up on Spam. I've eaten Spam almost my entire life. I've only not eaten Spam for like the past 2 years. I cut it out of my diet. So, like Spam, I'm a connoisseur of Spam. I used to have those Spam calendars. I had when I went to Hawaii, the biggest thing I wanted to get done was go to a place and actually order Spam for breakfast, which checked off the bucket list.
Sweet.
So it wasn't like go to beautiful beaches or
No, I didn't really care about that.
climb a mountain.
When we went to the actual real Hawaii, away from the touristy bit, and we just went to like some like little breakfast shop, on the menu, it was like, you get pancakes, scrambled eggs, and then it said sauteed Spam. And I said, ooh, give me some of that sauteed Spam, baby. And it tasted just like it did at home.
Oh,
So
man.
I love Spam. And I just don't eat it now because I'm just not eating meat from a can anymore because I can afford better meat. But
Oh,
growing
man.
up, that was a thing.
I could
And
go
so
for some meat from a can. I'm so hungry right now.
the thing I like about Spam also is that a lot of people don't like it because what it looks like and how you take it out. But I've introduced so many people to Spam through Spam and Eggs that they would then ask me like, "Wait, what is this?" And I so that's Spam. They go, "Wait, this is Spam?" And so it's like I've had people walk in while I've been cooking Spam in college and be like, "What smells so good?" I'm like, "That's Spam," and then they like pretend to be grossed out. I'm like, "You just walked in and said it smelled so good, so how are you grossed out now?"
I'm not
But
gonna turn my nose up to it. I I eat a lot of tuna fish, and that's from a can, and that looks worse
well,
because tuna fish is they cook the bones into food. Like they cook it so much that the whole
yeah.
thing becomes a food.
Yeah, but that's also just using the whole fish instead of throwing away a bunch chunks of it, which Spam kind of is the same thing of using the leftovers of the pork. So places in other countries that use like certain cuts of pork that we don't. That's basically what Spam is. So I wanted to bring that up because the chefs all kind of have their noses down on Spam. And Steven, even if that clip goes a little bit further, Steven then is cooking Spam directly on the oven, not in a pan like you should to sear it. He's cooking it directly over an open flame, which is not how you cook Spam. That's how you burn Spam, which is why Tiffany's like, your Spam's burning. He's
And
fucking
only if
ruining
you were
everyone's service.
there to like give him this kind of
Oh my God.
feedback.
I would have told him like, look, do you have butter? Do you have any? Are you allowed to use olive oil? Then put this Spam in a little bath of olive oil and sear it. And my God, let the juices come out. You're cooking away all the juices over this open flame right
I
now.
did notice that the juices were gone. That was a big problem. Missing the
Yeah.
juices.
I know with canned meat, the big thing is the juice.
It is. It's
You
Spam
gotta get
has
those
the
juices
juices.
in. When I open a nice big can of anchovies in the olive oil, I gotta make sure I
Uh-huh.
got all those
All those
juices
juices.
in
Yeah.
my big spaghetti bowl that I'm eating.
So, anyways, going through the quickfire, they got these ingredients from the gas station, and some people did some good with it. And a lot of people did a lot of bad with it. But the real shocker was how brutal the guest judge was when he came in to taste the quickfire challenges.
Jefferson Hill, which I mean, he is a person in modern times. We saw him, but you could tell me otherwise that he was like a Confederate general, and I'd believe you. The name Jefferson Hill certainly sounds like he had a statue recently taken down in Richmond, Virginia. Um,
Or
uh,
it sounds like the
but
site of a battle too. Something like
yeah,
All
Yeah.
those chefs were slaughtered on Jefferson Hill.
yeah.
I mean, they
That's what
seriously
happened.
were.
Jefferson
I
had
bet.
a bunch of quickfire muskets.
He destroyed. So the clip that we have is him talking to Miguel. Miguel stole Tiffany's idea outright. They just like she was like, "You're taking my idea to make Krispy Kreme bread pudding," and he was like, "Yeah, thanks for the idea."
No remorse
Which,
for it. He
yeah,
was
no
just like,
remorse.
"Yeah, I took your idea. No big deal. Bye."
He's like, "Thanks,
Also,
no hard feelings."
also, also, grocery stores sell milk, cinnamon, and bread. So why didn't someone just get that?
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
bread pudding.
Yeah, that is
You
weird.
can get loaves of bread. You can get cinnamon. I bet I mean, they have eggs, so it's like, why didn't you just make bread pudding, like from the bread that's actually there?
Quick note to everyone: when you're watching this episode, please pay attention to in Tiffany's talking head. She sounds like she is dying. She sounds
Yes.
awful. They should
Yes,
not have
yes,
made her do
yes.
this.
So I noted that it sounded like maybe she had just inhaled a balloon in between every take. But yeah, I don't. She was clearly like deathly sick when they like made her do this talking head interview. She sounded awful.
She sounded terrible.
I
Yeah.
think what happened is that the directors made her watch herself in the previous episode. And she was sick to her stomach about her performance and how she talked back to Tom Colicchio.
Yikes, that's a roast on Tiffany, and that reminds me of this roast that Jefferson Hill does on Miguel. Look who's coming for his job back, everybody.
Wow. He's
Here
trying
we
to play
go.
his way back into the team.
I have a trio dessert with pumpkin Krispy Kreme. And then here I've got some coconut water with a little chocolate foam and a Listerine orange palate cleansers.
It's bread pudding
Yes.
with Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Sickly sweet.
I had
Holy shit.
Cooked them.
And it might
Cooked
sound
him.
like he had no emotion when he said that, and you would be right. And his face also shows no emotion when he just tries it and just like looks kind of at it and a little bit at her, and is just kind of like sickly sweet, and then
Sickly sweet.
sickly sweet. Yeah, he's basically roasting all of them. It's like a roast master, one of those Comedy Central shows.
Yeah, it's basically Jeff Ross saw this and then said, "I can do that better."
Yeah, Jefferson Hill might have paid Jeff Ross to write some of the stuff he comes up with, because immediately after this one, first of all, the music is insane. It sounds like a Christopher Nolan movie. It goes to the next person who's like, "Oh yeah, I used peanut butter cups to do this," and his response is just too peanut buttery.
Yeah. Shouldn't have told. That was your first mistake. You shouldn't have told him what you put in it, because he's like, all right, well, that's going to be something I'm going to use,
Yeah.
because otherwise I don't know what's in it. Because there's another part where he reviews what Candace made, and I think she made like a gazpacho or something like that, and he's like,
Yep.
you know, this tastes like nacho cheese, and she's like, I didn't put any cheese in it. And then it like there's a deleted scene that Tom, remember Tom, he sent me an email.
Oh
he's
yeah.
like, "Got this deleted scene." And like after she says like I didn't put any cheese in it, he's just like, well, oh, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean cheese. Did I say cheese?
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
did I
I mean,
say cheese?
what did you say your thing was again? Because yeah, it tastes too much like gazpacho. That's what it's too gazpacho-y. That's what I meant.
I love in the episode when he does say that it tastes like cheese, and then she says, "There's no cheese." He looks to he looks dead at the camera like David Brent, and is like, "Well, I tasted cheese. I tasted cheese." It's like I'm a real chef. I have a palate. It tasted like cheese. Moving on to the next person.
Yeah.
He destroys everybody. Roast Master General Jefferson Hill is now the Roast Master General of the Confederate Army. We've learned that today. He does like a couple things. He likes Dave's burrito and tomato soup. And he also likes Leanne's. Now, I didn't know what this word was, but it has it on the Chiron, so I learned what it is. It's spelled Spiedini. It is apparently said spaghetti.
Yeah. You didn't know
Yeah,
that?
Leanne.
I knew that. Jamal, did you know that?
I knew it was called spaghetti.
Yeah, me too. That much has been you.
The
It
N
sounded
is
like-
silent.
It sounded like a child ordering spaghetti.
Can I have a spaghetti?
Make it the spaghetti.
Yeah. It's just spaghetti.
No, but
I got spaghetti on my face.
Yeah, you ever see those cute pictures of you as a kid just covered in spaghetti?
yeah, my mom hated that when I was covered in spaghetti. She made me take my shoes off at the front. When I came in. Covered in spaghetti. She didn't want to track it through the house.
Is this almost clean rug? You're gonna track spaghetti into my clean house?
Yeah.
So Leanne makes Funyun battered spaghetti, and it wins. It's basically, Funyuns fried between a spaghetti. It's self-explanatory.
Yeah, everyone knows. Everyone gets it.
And
Brian
this
didn't get it.
Confederate roast master general loved it so much that he rewarded her with the quickfire challenge.
Also,
win.
Katie Lee Joel never says you win immunity. She says you are the only person who can't get eliminated. She never once says
Yeah.
immunity. It's weird that she
It's-
keeps
Yeah.
doing that.
I wonder if it was like after they reviewed this season, they were just like, these episodes are too long. We've got to find a way to simplify them. And they're like, okay, what are some smaller? What's one word to describe some of the things that we're saying? And immunity was one of them. I guess they just like maybe Survivor was like on a break at this point, and so that
Yeah.
the immunity wasn't like in the ether of the
Yeah,
reality
yeah.
TV show world.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were
I feel
trying
like
to
in-
stick out. I don't know.
Some of the B-roll, I think, was her just stopping and being like, "What is that word?"
Yeah.
When you
It's
can't
on
be
the-
eliminated,
It's on the tip of my tongue, and
whatever. I'll just use whatever I can.
I'll just
Yeah.
come up with it, which actually leads me to Katie Lee. I don't know what happened in this episode, but basically everything she says you can tell has been re-recorded. And typically, and they do this even now with like Padma or like other shows, like if the host like gets the explanation of the challenge or whatever off, they'll like redub it, but they'll usually show like an over the shoulder shot or like shots of the people, like the contestants or whatever, not the face of the person talking because it looks insane. But on like I think more than one occasion in this episode, they show her face when it's clear that they are re-recording, like it's a dub on top of what she's saying. It doesn't even sync up correctly. So I don't know. Well, maybe she was sick. Maybe something was going around. Maybe she was sick too.
Yeah, I wonder because they think that COVID started earlier than they think that it did, so maybe that's what was going on.
That sounds right. Early COVID.
Because some people are like, I had it in January. Maybe they had it in 2006.
It just now blossomed. No, go ahead.
No, we can cut this because we're doing pretty good on time. But we had said we're actually doing great, so we can not even do this at all. But if this is something that we could do this challenge. Like, what would you do at like a gas station? Like, what would you prepare?
Oh, I mean, that's easy for me. I would have made spam and eggs and toast, but I would have made French toast to go with it instead, and like the eggs seasoned with whatever I can find at the store. But it's a very easy breakfast meal to make from a grocery store, and it would taste great. I do spam the right way too, by the way.
So I know I make fun of Andrea a lot for her approach to cooking, which involves not cooking at all and just putting ingredients on the table. And then also for being maybe a dangerous person. But I think my approach to this would also be I would just get a bag of Doritos and put it out there because it's like everyone likes Doritos. I'm not going to make it any better. So just going to put some Doritos and maybe I put some nacho cheese on it. Can't argue with that. Just a little.
At least then, when he comes by and tastes it, he's like, "This tastes like nacho cheese."
Yeah, or he tastes it. He's just like, "This is just Doritos." I'm like, "No, I put some nacho
He's like,
cheese on it."
That's a good touch. It tastes like nacho cheese.
He's like nacho cheese. I'm like, yeah, I did put nacho cheese. Okay, good. He's like, I knew I tasted nacho cheese somewhere. That's why I said it your gazpacho because I heard it and felt it over there. That's why I said.
Yeah, that's why he was so mad because he was like, "This looks like nacho cheese, but it doesn't taste." I wanted nacho cheese.
I really wanted it to be nacho cheese, and it didn't taste like that at all.
And his brain just took over and said, "No, something this color has to be nacho cheese."
I would prepare. I've made this before, and you guys can only imagine how terrible this is going to be. You get frozen French fries, frozen chicken patties, which they probably might have. Usually the vegetarian ones, and then you get Hormel vegetarian chili and cheddar cheese, and you put it all on a plate together, and you eat that, and it tastes really good.
Hold on. You can't just put it. Those are all frozen. So are they on the plate frozen, or how are you cooking these?
No, you microwave them, or you can put them in the oven. It's all just like oven baked French fries, oven baked chicken patties. You put the chili on a pot on top of the stove, and then you sprinkle cheese on top of it.
Okay, all right. So that's a food on the fly. And you mentioned microwave, which is kind of kismet because the elimination challenge, each chef had to create a gourmet entree that could be reheated in a microwave. For the working moms of the Junior League of Oakland East Bay. This was another challenge that once it was announced, the chefs were all like, microwave? What's this appliance, this contraption that's in a kitchen? I don't use this ever.
Everyone hates this challenge. Here's Harold's thoughts on this challenge.
I'm a restaurant chef. I want people to come to the restaurant and allow myself and the rest of the staff to take care of them. I'm not into this challenge at all, right from the get-go. I'm not into promoting reheatable, microwavable food.
That's
So-
just like, he doesn't like anything about the challenge.
Yeah, well, this is more reminiscent of the last challenge, the last elimination challenge. We had to cook for children, and his whole thing was, I'm a restaurant chef. I don't entertain kids. I cook food. Okay. So you're never going to see me, laughing it up with kids, my customers, just because I'm a chef and that's what I'm here to do, cook food. What is it with chefs with that mentality of like, all I need to do is cook food and be a great chef? Don't they understand there's like a whole other, like, different facets that come with being a good chef?
I think it takes over your life.
Just the food cooking part, not the running the restaurant, dealing with customers, pleasing customers, like dealing with vendors. Like, there's like a whole thing that I know it takes over your life, but like all these chefs are like just about food. I don't care about anything else.
Listen, I get it. And for the listeners at home, I did get my dinner just now. So if you see like at this point during the episode, all of a sudden my energy is better because I've
I mean,
got my dinner now. So
I mean, even this is like 100% improvement.
He hates it. Everyone is miserable with this challenge. I think Harold thinks. I think there's like this. I'm gonna say the Anthony Bourdainication of, which is my favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers song. That you're just like, it's what I want to make, and like, fuck you. Like, I'm doing this. If you don't like this, go somewhere else. It's like a bit of an omakase like mentality. If I am the top chef, I will make this, and you will eat it, and you will like it.
Yeah.
yeah, it's an omakase.
That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, it's an omakase. I know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's what it's
everyone
called.
knows what. Yeah, that's
Jamal and
what
I
it's
both
called.
called it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when you tell the sushi chef to just like make what
Sushi.
they want to make for you. What happens is Miguel decides that he's going to make a meatloaf, which a turkey meatloaf. And remember, this is for moms and homemakers. And Lisa doesn't think that moms and homemakers will like meatloaf.
I feel like I'm taking a risk here, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm doing meatloaf. I was thinking comfort, because that's what they want to serve to their family.
You
How would
meatloaf
you feel about it?
for women?
Which she can say that. She can say that.
Yeah.
Uh,
She's a woman. And
we
I
would
like
not.
that the reaction from Miguel is he does not back down from his decision. He's like, yeah, for women.
Yeah.
Women like meatloaf. My mom made meatloaf all the time. She loved it. Why he doesn't second guess his like he doesn't read into that too much. He just goes
Nope.
with it.
He's like, okay, she just said back to me who I'm cooking for, but yeah, that's who I'm cooking for. Women. I'm making meatloaf for women.
So Dave makes lasagna, his special lasagna, which everyone is kind of like, lasagna, is that going to microwave? Well, he is insistent this will be great. But Stephen and Harold, Stephen and Harold don't like it. They make fun of it and call it the magic meatloaf, which I don't really understand what that means.
What a sick burn that was. Like when I heard that, I was like, I totally get why Dave is basically crying during this episode. It's,
Yeah.
to have your lasagna called magical. There's nothing magical about it. I made it with my hands. Okay, it's the most insulting thing you could say to a chef that it was magical, that it just came out of nowhere. I get it. I would cry too.
Just a little disappointed with people like Harold, when you're in the middle of getting things done and say, oh, the magical lasagna to Steven, it's like, I don't need that shit, okay? I'm done with him and Steven. They can go make out somewhere because I'm just over it. I'm pissed.
So, first thing I noticed about that clip is that they play the goodbye music during that clip for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's saying "boy, bye," basically.
Yeah, he's saying
right.
boy bye, so they play the goodbye
Yeah,
music.
it's like go make out over there. Bye, bye. Go make out. Bye,
He tells them
bye.
to go make out,
Yeah,
which
which
I think is very funny.
roasted got him.
Yeah, so he says they should go make out somewhere because that's the meanest thing he could say to them. And I mean, Dave in general, things we know about him. He's the undead. He's basically a vampire. um, and
That's
he's
true.
always on edge. I think it has something to do with the fact that he is constantly has to be up during the daytime, which is unusual for him. There's also a clip at the very beginning where for whatever reason, the camera crew is like filming them getting dressed, and he like puts up a shirt to like block himself from them because he's clearly changing. Um, which is weird that they did that to him, but I think it's also because he's not used to being up at that hour. So in general, he's off here, and he's very nervous about what he's made.
Yeah, he's always having to look over his shoulder for like a steak. He needs to be very aware of the sun. Yeah, I
So
would be nervous too.
to hear how nervous he is, why don't you play his introduction to his food in the elimination challenge?
All right. Give me 1 second to find that clip. If I play
You
the
know
wrong clip,
that
I
part of a
apologize.
basketball game where someone alley oops someone, and the guy that's supposed to dunk it just says,
Says, all right, let me see if I can dunk this basketball here, and I'm gonna catch it, and I'm going towards the rim and dunk. That's the wrong clip.
That's the wrong.
"Okay, and so you scored a point at the wrong end."
Yeah.
All right,
Clip
here
of
we go.
nothing.
And the ball is up, and I'm gonna get it. I'm Dwight Howard. Here we go.
Give me just a sec. I'm gonna get some things rolling, then I'll chat. Okay? Okay. My focus is on flavor and functionality. The dish I've done is a dual sauce lasagna that is finished by a colorful veggie medley. I've got an orange and purple cauliflower and a green organic broccoli. I want the adults to be able to eat it. I want the kids to be able to eat it. A dog can eat it if it's that bad. You can't put it out in the yard, but hopefully it won't be that bad. Try it, taste it, see what you're getting from it. Enjoy.
I think that's a solid intro to his food.
It's a solid intro, but you can tell he's nervous. You can tell that
Yeah.
he was like kind of freaking out that he had to do the thing chefs hate, talking to the people they're serving food to.
Yeah, which like I get, like that's kind of intimidating to explain what you just made. And like in this season, I get it. Like they might be a little bit thrown off because it's like, oh, I didn't know I was going to have to explain to this room of people why I made this and do this kind of song and dance thing. But in later seasons, they always have to do this. But
Yeah.
we still run into the same thing where people are like, I don't know how to talk to other human beings. I
Yeah.
don't know how to explain the food I just made, why I made it, what's in it. So this will be a running problem that we see throughout Top Chef.
Well, not for everyone because Steven doesn't have this problem.
That's right.
As we'll hear now.
Dave nails it, by the way, with the self-deprecation, with like you
Yeah.
can feed it to your kids, to yourself, to your dog, so that the mothers are like, no, not the dog. It's great.
Tamales usually wrapped in a corn husk. The dish first arose and refined the most in a region called Oaxaca, which is basically the culinary capital, the equivalent to, say, Florence, Tuscany, Rome, Italy, or in Paris, Lyon, etc. See a lot of it in the United States, just because it's the American palate, but again, they are quite nice. They started with this mole sauce. There's an element of condescension when he explains his dish that you can't possibly understand all the things that are in this dish. Are you familiar with plantain? Okay, great. And then I also took squash blossom leaves. I kneaded those into the dough. And I finished it with shiso leaves, which is Japanese mint, if you can kind of process all that. Thank you so much for your time, ladies.
So I don't know if you all process all of that.
Yeah, so there's a lot to unpack there. The first thing I want to point out, which he says Oaxaca is the culinary capital, and then I can tell in his brain he's like, that's not right. I'm leaving out, because he was about to say of the world, and then like he was like, oh no, like, there's all these other, and then he just starts naming cities. just in
that are
general. Like,
known for food.
and, like, I think cities that he maybe likes to say because he's like Leon, and then he says like Italy as a whole, like just the country of Italy. So I mean that's what you get when, the producer goes to you, in this case it's Bryan Cranston, and is
Yeah.
like, we have an outline of what we want you to say, but we really want you just to like speak as the character and just go. And Brian was probably like, okay, I'll give it a shot, but he's not a trained improviser. So
No.
he just went up there and it's just like a bunch of bullshit came out of his mouth and none of it really made sense.
And if you could see the looks on the faces of the working ladies there, they were all like rolling their eyes and like, yeah, we know what this is. Can we just eat it now? And then when they get their food, the first thing they say is, "It's a bit cold." I wonder why it's cold. You just gave a dissertation. That's probably why it's cold.
He if it sounded like he was talking out of order, it's because he got the like babbling producer edit, like where they like interrupt what he's saying with more of what he's saying, which jumps ahead like 10 seconds. Seems like he's talking for an hour.
Yeah. He also asked the group of women if they've heard of a plantain before.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy thing to ask a group of people, like of adults. Like maybe he thought he was still in the old, the previous episode where there was like children there, and he was like, "This is how I have to talk to people."
So, a big takeaway that we get from this elimination challenge is that a lot of these chefs don't know what a microwave is, which is really crazy. I don't even know how that's possible. Like, earlier we heard Harold saying that he hates this challenge. He doesn't want to cook for anyone. He wants to cook his own food and they'll like it. So Harold is learning how to do the show. That happens in this clip. Again, then Miguel describes his food, and then Andrea talks about never having used a microwave in a long time.
Clear that this competition is not totally about cooking technique. You need to have the total package. You need to be able to sell your product. You need to be, personable.
I feel very confident in the dish I prepared. No matter if the president sat to it or a homeless guy sat to it, they would both enjoy themselves. Nothing fancy. It was simply good food.
Can I practice how to use this thing? I haven't used a microwave in 10 years. I had no idea how to use it. You cook on the stove or in the oven. I don't know what the microwave's going to do to it. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, I just want to point out that, like, I think it's really important that chefs make food that, like, whoever sats to it can eat it. You gotta. That's like, I mean, we've been getting into like cooking 101, and that this is also an educational podcast, and it's like one of the first rules you learn in culinary school is like if you're gonna cook it, someone's got to sat to it. You got to be able to sat to it.
Yeah. Though every president is homeless, which is why they have to move into the White House.
Wow.
Because they have to give up their home and live in the White House. So they are homeless while they're president,
Wow.
So technically it's the same person. I'm hip to Miguel's game.
So, okay. So Andrea doesn't know how to use a microwave. She hasn't used one in 10 years. That's crazy. I think once I lived in an apartment that didn't have a microwave, and it was awful.
Yeah, I mean, I can see like maybe her house, like not everyone has like whatever the built-in microwave. Like you would have to like purchase like a separate one. So I get that, but like, there's no way, even if it's true that she hasn't used a microwave in 10 years, which is possible. There's no way you wouldn't know how to use the microwave. It's self-explanatory. I was talking about this earlier. It's like saying I haven't been in an elevator in 10 years. I don't know how to use them. Like you just push the button. You know how to do it.
It's your brain takes over at that point and like starts running a basic operating program of like, well, we're going to the first floor, so maybe I should press the one button.
And that explains why Katie Lee, popped in there, because she can help run programs for people. She's like, I got a really easy script for you. If you need to learn how to do a microwave, I got some. They just plug this right into your brain.
Yeah, the microwaves that I've used, they say potato, they say popcorn, and maybe that was Andrea's issue, is that it didn't say
mashed potatoes and then pork sausage.
She was like,
she was looking for the button that said mashed
quinoa button.
Where's the quinoa with them sausage button? And
So
where's
I'm
the
not making popcorn. Where's the quinoa button?
I think you
It's like,
guys got the wrong microwave.
yeah.
You guys,
I think you guys gave me the wrong one. I think
Yeah,
this,
Using a
I think this
button.
is Miguel's.
you guys have healthier microwaves. These microwaves only have junk food on them.
I think this microwave is for the gas station
This
challenge.
microwave says candy. Who puts candy in a microwave?
It makes the gummies softer. And at the beginning of that clip, you hear Harold learn how to do Top Chef.
Mm-hmm.
He learns how to do Top Chef, and he learned it, and he did it. So this is Harold presenting his food to the homemakers and the mothers of Oakland Bay Home Association.
I'm totally a microwave novice. I have no idea how to use one. I had my manual out last night. I'm reading, I'm checking it out. I'm like, I do not know what I'm doing. I'm like, so I was hoping maybe some of y'all could give me some pointers on how to use the microwave.
God, his sexist stand-up bit fucking killed. It fucking
Yeah.
killed. He said, "Hey, you ladies can give me tips on the microwave," and then he also starts with deprecating humor, and they eat it up.
They love it.
God.
I don't notice how thick Harold's accent is until this like clip,
Yeah.
and it's really thick.
I wonder if it's something where it's like when he's nervous,
Yeah,
it comes out more. But yeah, he and Gail hints at this later. Like he definitely turns on like a little bit of the flirty charm with these ladies, and they're loving it. They are like, this nice tall drink of water is. He doesn't even know how to work a microwave. That's adorable.
That's so cute.
They're like, I want to teach him how to use a microwave.
Oh my God, I can fix him.
it's the it's the ghost scene, but it's Harold in front of the microwave and a woman like putting her arms around him,
behind him, being like,
pressing the popcorn button.
Yeah. No, press the button that says mashed potatoes. So everyone serves their meal for the elimination challenge, and some stand out, some don't. A lot of the ladies give feedback that is pretty much in your face and like unedited at all, unfiltered, and they don't hold back. If you get a feel that a lot of the contestants kind of know that they shit the bed in this competition, and others who were like, yeah, I know I hit it. That's why probably when they brought in the top three, which were Tiffany, Harold, and Andrea, only one of them was surprised to be in the top three, which was Andrea, who was like, "Oh, I know I'm not in the bottom because it was Harold and Tiffany."
Yeah, those two are like really good. They're like chefs.
They're like chefs.
I'm just fucking around here. Those people, they got.
Yeah, I put whole apples on a plate. So,
we forgot to mention early in the episode when she's explaining what she's cooking, she says there's something she wants to emphasize for the ladies, but we'll have to wait and see what it is. It turns out that it's once again pooping.
Yeah.
Andrew's really big on making people poop, and the women love it. They're like, yeah, we want to poop. Yeah, we're gonna fucking poop so much after this meal. Yeah. They go crazy.
Yeah, they cut that part out of the show, but you can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Tom sent me the director's cut of that scene, and it's bedlam. The women are like flipping over the table.
Yeah, it took forever to reset for the next shot because
they just took shits where they were standing. They were like, yeah, just fucking dropped them right on the spot, and they started chanting, Andrea.
And like Tom looked a little annoyed in the back, and he's like, now we have to wait like an hour and a half to reset and clean up everything.
So I want to point this out. Are you guys receiving separate emails from Tom? Like, is he emailing you individually versus like how he was doing it before, where he was like emailing us as a group?
Yeah.
He must be.
Okay. Because he's doing that to me too. And it's not until now that I realize I think he's trying to pit us against each other.
Oh, that's not going to work for the three amigos.
Yeah.
It could also be intentional, his way of making sure we don't fall in love with each other.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he doesn't want us making out.
Yeah, he did say that was the most important rule. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that explains it.
He could just be trying, but you know what, Tom? Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking to each other right now. He can't keep us away from each other.
Oh, you know what? Something I forgot we didn't mention in the elimination. Oh no, well, let's talk about it right now. I just want to mention Candace's food that she made was a shrimp and spinach quiche that looked nothing like a quiche. Like she wanted to make a quiche. I mean, how do you take the eggs out of a quiche and then still call it a quiche and say I want to put more vegetables and protein in it? No, it's supposed to look like egg with stuff in it.
It was confusing because even if she had made the quiche correctly or one that was good, I don't think it would have tasted good the second day because it's a
No.
quiche. You
Yeah, it's
can't,
a quiche.
you can't. I mean, you can heat it up, but it's like the crust is going to be soggy, probably, right?
Yeah,
Because she's
and you've got
refrigerating
the British baking show problem, soggy bottom.
it.
Soggy bottom.
Yeah.
Bottoms. Yeah. So she kind of made a mistake just in her conceit, which I'm not really sure why she wanted to make a quiche. But yeah, Jamal's point, like it didn't even look like a quiche. So double errors.
Do we have any other clips?
So I meant to clip the clip of Candace going home. She says, by making it this far is enough to say I've won, which
Yeah.
That's
is
not,
wrong because that's not how
Yeah.
the show. That's not how
yeah,
games
that's
work.
not how it works.
That's the same issue that Brian had, right? Brian had
Yeah.
the same issue.
People
Yeah.
don't seem to understand, and then you know what? We got to give them credit. It's the first season, so like the rules might be hard of like
Yeah.
understanding what it means to win. In their minds, they're like, "Oh, okay, I got eliminated. That means I won the show."
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah.
no, you
Yeah.
gotta be the last one here, and
Yeah.
then that means you win the show. But it's like people get that, I think, in later seasons. They watch it and they're like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
understand how the show works. You gotta be
Yeah.
the last one."
This is seems to only be a problem for the losers, though.
Yeah.
So the winner of the elimination challenge was Tiffany, who just came off of how does Katie Lee Joel say it? Being uneligible to be eliminated in
Yeah.
episode 3.
She
She's
was the
coming off of
only
that
contestant not eligible for elimination.
in episode 3. Let's just call it immunity in this one. But she came off immunity from the last challenge, and now she wins this one, which is a nice little back to back. You know, she got to be a annoying, disrespectful person in the last one because she knew she couldn't go home. And this one, she actually put a lot of effort into and thought about it by using that mirin glazed sea bass with all that fat and oil on the fish, so that when it microwaved, it like didn't get like overcooked or anything, and like just stayed nice and tasty. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good planning, and Tom called that out. Like, I think when she served it, he was like, "Yeah, put it in oil."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, that's what I
Yeah,
would have
that
done."
was a good
Smart.
idea.
Good idea. I think like,
Yeah.
at this point we're kind of establishing who are our front runners here, or the people that
Yeah.
are kind of always doing pretty well, which is like Leanne, Tiffany,
Harold, yeah, Steven in his own mind.
Steven thinks he's
Steven-
doing well, even though he
Yeah.
Every time Steven puts plate out, he goes, I looked around at everyone else's plate and I thought this was in the bag. I thought
Yeah, he did it again this episode with a quick fire. He's like, I saw everyone's and I knew I'd won it. It's so funny.
like this guy has about as much self-awareness as everyone who loses and says, I thought I'm a winner now. So the loser of the elimination and the person who packs their knives and goes home this episode is none other than the shrimp and spinach quiche creator herself, Candace.
Candace
That's right.
goes home.
And even before they establish that Candace is going home, Tom's like, I want to get rid of all of you. If it was up to me, all you guys would go home.
Yeah, that's what he said. And then Miguel from the back was like, "Hey, he's talking like me.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
talking to me.
You
That's
taking
all
my
it-
bit.
I
Take
say
my
use.
bit.
I say use guys."
He Tom works it out like vocally. He's like, I want some two of you home. No, wait, all three of you.
All three.
I don't think he's realized that he is the guy who runs the show. He
Yeah.
wanted to do it. He could do it.
He's like, I wish I could. I can't. Because some
Yeah.
guy who runs the show makes the big choices. But if I could do it, I'd send all you packing.
He just got very confused because it's like they yelled cut when he was like, I wish I could send all three of you home, and the producer's like, well, you can, if that's what you want to do, Tom, you had the, and he's like, no, I don't think that's how it works. I think
No.
he's like, but Tom, you are a head judge. This is your show. If you want, I mean, it could be dramatic. If he's like, no, that's not how that's not how it works. That's one has to go home.
Yeah.
I know what I said.
Yeah.
One has to go home. And then it was like later, like he sent him home. and then like he got offset and was like, "Oh, now I know what you guys meant. I could have done that. You're right. I could. Okay. Well, next time I'll get it right. Next time.
Next episode. That's probably why in future seasons he starts sending people home 2 at a time. He's like, finally, I get to do it.
He learns. He's like, I have power and I'm gonna wield it and just send people home constantly. We had the long clip. I don't think we'll play it. But yeah, he destroys. He's pissed off. He destroys everyone. He says that everyone's food is inedible. And then he sends home Candace.
I think that's about ties it up for episode 4 for Top Chef, which means it also ties it up for episode 4 of Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. And like always,
real quick, I want to tell the fans that, you know, if you like this episode better than the first 3 episodes, go ahead and send us a message. Let us know, like, this structure works better for me. I understand what happened in the episode now. The host is less confused and lost.
I got an email from Tom right now.
I like
Oh
this.
no.
Oh no.
Tom's email, the headline says host change.
The headline?
Well, the header of the email says host change ? And then I haven't read the body yet, but I don't think it's going to be good for you, Brian. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh wait, I got an email from Tom too. Same header, host change ?
Maybe we got the same email then.
No, you're not on it. I can see you're not on it. No, wait, actually, sorry. I'm sorry. It's host change !
Okay, wait. Well, now I have an email, and it says host change, and there's a period at the end of it. So I mean, that must be a finalized decision.
Actually, I'm opening mine up now, and the body's empty of mine.
Okay, me too.
He sent one of those emails where he just wants you to read it in the header of the email. I love those. Well, all right. That does it for episode 4 of Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. Catch us next week for episode 5, Blind Confusion. And
wow, what a pro! Even like teeing up the next episode.
Until
what are we
next
doing
time,
for 3 episodes?
I don't know. You were the host. Until next time, we're out of here. We're gonna pack our knives and go. See you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, now I gotta cut this off.